We're definitely glad to be back home, to finish up our conference season with 4 straight home games. So looking forward to that. I think my team is playing our best basketball right now. We are, especially on the offensive end. We've the last 3 or 4 games we've played as well as we have all year. So that's a good sign, and we just got to keep building on that.
What's maybe been the key for you to kind of unlock that on the offensive side?
I think a couple of things. I think one is, motion offense. It takes a little while for everybody to sort of get a feel for each other and doing things. So it's definitely offense that improves as the season goes on. So I think that's a factor in it. And then also I think just, some of our players that, they're first year players and things, they're starting to feel a lot more comfortable, and they're giving us more output on the offensive end. So I think both of those things are a factor in it.
Here was just a couple weeks before the conference tournament. This is when you want your team to be peaking. What do you want to see between now and then that'll make you confident going into the tournament?
I just think, keep building on what we've been doing. I mean, we're playing as good as we have all year. We're going to keep building on that, and maybe a couple of more additions, people that can give us a little bit more than what they are right now to contribute a little bit more. I think that would help. But just taking it one game at a time. I think that's one thing you have to do. I think you just got to go into it. We got 4 games, Tennessee Martin coming up on Thursday. That's what we're thinking about right now. We're taking them one at a time. We still have everything, pretty much to play for. I mean, if things go our way, with how other teams, the outcomes come, with their last 4 games, we could finish as high as second, in the conference, and even first realistically, but that's probably an outstretch. But, if we finish second, we get a double bye. If we finish third or fourth, we get a single bye. So we got a lot to play for, these 4 games, and we got to take them one at a time.
And there are 4 games left, all kinds of possible outcomes. Now that you've seen everyone, just what does that say about, I guess, the parity really in the middle of the top half of this league?
Well, like Coach Baker said, I think in our league, we've got 11 teams. I think anybody can beat anybody. I mean, we've sort of seen that go through. The last place team beat the first place team a week ago, and it's just, you better come out to play every night. And, it's when we get to that conference tournament, all 8 teams will have a chance to win it.
In that Eastern game, it kind of seemed like you guys really took control and kind of created some distance, which, a lot of times it seems like kind of no matter who the opponent is, like I said, kind of there's a lot of parity, but, you guys had a whole lot of blowout victories. So
right.
What was the difference in that game to kind of be able to pull away?
Well, I think, our start to the game, I mean, we jumped on them early and got them down, and I think when you play a team that's struggling a little bit like they are, when you do that, that gives you an opportunity, and we did it. Now, we did let them back in it, some the second quarter, but we came out again the first of the second half and put them down again, and I think that made a big difference.
Like Coach talks about players figuring it out. It feels like you're one of those that have sort of figured out your role and kind of starting to click for you. What's been the difference the last couple weeks that's allowed you to unlock your game the way you are?
I think just time. Like Coach said, like learning the offense, it takes time, and with the support of like the returners and the coaches, like obviously they played here, so they know like the system. So working with them and the returners has allowed us to understand the offense more and understand where we belong. Like if you're a screener, if you want to come up this screen and score. So just time pretty much has helped us a lot.
We talked a lot earlier in the year with Coach about how, in order for this team to be successful, it couldn't just be Jordan doing the lion's share of the scoring. How much have you taken on responsibility with that to be like, hey, I want to take a little bit off of her plate to be able to give her more space to operate?
For sure. Yeah, I've obviously wanted to take responsibility to help her in that department. I think me and also like Brenna Burke, she has been very helpful, as well as like Destiny, with helping Jordan in that sense. And I think once we have people in double figures in games, you can tell because we win those games.
And I was asked about the first team marking. Obviously, you guys were able to win on their court. I think it was one of those postponement games where you guys were playing just a lot of games back to back. So just kind of talk about what was the key to that game and kind of what do you know about the Skyhawks going into Thursday?
The key to that game is defense. Obviously, they have a bunch of girls that can really score in the mid-range area, and I think us playing team defense, playing gap, talking when we need to switch and things like that is going to be the key to winning. Also, running our motion offense because the first game they couldn't really guard the way that most other teams can. So I think if we just do what we did in the first game, then we can win again.
One of the things I'll add that you talked about, Jordan reached 1,000-point career scoring for us last week, so I think that's a big honor. And to add a little bit to our success that we've been having lately, Jordan has really been able to not force things as much as she was early in the year, where she was having to really take a lot of responsibility and making our team go, and she's really figured that out, and I think you can tell from our offense that it's making everything, go click a lot better and go a lot smoother. But definitely wanted to recognize Jordan for, that 1,000 points.
Real quick, can you talk about just her rebounding lately?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like she's really committed to that part of the game.
Exactly. I mean, that's, I think just letting the game come to her and seeing things, and, she's given us 10 rebounds a game the last couple of conference games, and then scoring in double figures. I mean, that she's just, a total player, and it's helping our team a lot right now.